Mic check. Alright, so magandang gabi everyone. So magandang gabi sa ating mga CDA candidates. No? So tonight you will be conferred as a certified data analyst trained. So but before we proceed with your conferment, would like to give good evening to all our viewers. Magandang gabi. So this will be a very special episode of Alpha TV because once again, nakapag-graduate or nakapagpa-tapos na ulit tayo ng isang wave of training for certified data analyst. And for tonight, meron tayong special speaker that will share her experience all throughout from being in the training of certified data analyst up to what she is right now. But before we proceed with that, may I call on Sir Felix Veroya to formally open and give us a welcoming remarks. So Sir Felix.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me. And uh, yes, good evening, and welcome everyone to Alpha's CDA or Certified Data Analyst Wave 4 graduation ceremony. We are celebrating the graduation of our fourth batch of this Alpha Certified Data Analyst program. And I would like to congratulate our graduates. I know that the curriculum, the program, is not that easy. You have to spend time, effort in completing all the requirements, your exercises, attending live classes, taking the exams, and well, basically completing all the requirements. I know that moving forward, as you move forward, this will be a really helpful skill, additional skill, as we are on the age of data, and as evidence and demonstrated by your predecessors, your the first three batches before you. We have heard so many good news of how they were able to apply their learnings to the actual world, no, to their jobs. And we are happy to be part of your data science and data analytics journey. That is why also tonight we invited someone who has been part of the program and now is applying all the things that she have learned. And we are thankful to have her tonight. So again, congratulations, and let's not stop here. This is just the start of your data analytics journey. So continue to be hashtag significantly better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir Felix. No? So that's a very welcoming remarks from you. No? So for now, let's proceed now with the next part of the program. So I won't eat much of her time. So let me introduce her to you. So our speaker for tonight will be Miss Andrea Marie L. Maderazo, CDA, a business process analyst at Calibrate Systems Incorporated. Journey from zero to hero on becoming a data scientist. So after this graduation ceremony, we'll be providing you a link wherein you have your free e-certificate. So Miss Andrea or Miss Drew, so the floor is now yours.
Good evening. So, can my screen be seen po? I can open the ano. I can start the
Yes
video
po,
share.
visible na po. And audible na rin kayo, Miss Blue.
Okay na po kahit ano yung video ka man, no? Ayaw po niya eh. Unable to start video daw. Okay. So good evening, everyone. So congratulations to the CBA graduates. I know firsthand how much dedication and hard work is needed to complete the capstone project, as well as the weekly exercises and lessons. And I am here tonight to give a brief view into data science along with my data science journey. So of course, as Sir Lex said, this is, ayan, hello? So, ayan, kita na pala ako. Okay. So, as Sir Lex said, this is just the beginning. So, this is not the grand finale. You are now a certified data analyst. This is a significant contribution to your data science and analytics journey. So, let me introduce myself ulit. So, I am Andrea Marie Maderaso. Tapos, I belong to the pioneering batch of certified data analysts. So, that was a year ago. I am a data scientist and industrial engineer. I work as a business process analyst at Calibrate, and I volunteer as a junior machine learning engineer at Omdena. So let's start with this idea. Data is everywhere. Of course, we agree, right? So for example, the plants around us, not only in its physical dimensions, but down to its very genetic structure, there is data embedded in it. In every interaction that we have, we produce data. And of course, not only in the IT sector, but in every sector, they generate and they use data. So according to Tech Jury, last 2020, there is 2.5 quintillion bytes of data being produced per day. So that is this amount of data. And we're more familiar with gigabytes. That is this much gigabytes. So 40% of which comes from machines. So this amount of data is, of course, tied to the fourth industrial revolution, which we are in now. So a lot of processes are being digitalized, and more new technologies are being integrated with the way that we work. So as we can see, familiar terms such as Internet of Things, smart sensors are shown in the diagram. So these are readily available because of the vast amount of data that we have. With these emerging technologies, massive storage capacity, and computing and processing power, this era gives industries the ability to gather huge amounts of data and utilize it to extract valuable insights. But this advancement still have data and ensuring the flow of information as its cornerstone. So a lot of industries right now and businesses are trying to transition into more data centric and find and utilize data in a way that it would benefit their company. So data science plays a big role now, and these professions are now considered as emerging or increasing in demand. So of course, when we hear the term data, succeeding to it would be the term data science, which I think all of us have encountered this because, like from what Forbes has reported, it is the sexiest job for the 20th century. But a formal definition that we can have of data science is from the Journal of Data Science. It's almost everything that has something to do with data, collecting, analyzing, modeling, yet the most important part is its application, all sorts of application. So to simply define data science as a field, it is the combination of programming language, knowledge of math and statistics, and domain knowledge to process data and create valuable insights. A more technical definition that we can entail from this is data science is the process of translating data, which can be both structured and unstructured in nature, to derive valuable insights using various of tools and techniques. These data science techniques include, of course, data extraction, data mining, retrieval, analysis, and producing results that are informative. Right now, data science is used to make decisions using predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, and machine learning. So we're all familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how to attain self-actualization or happiness. We need to first fill in or have a complete basic needs. So we'll show that in the context of data science. So this is not only for companies to follow. This is something that we could follow as we try to be better data scientists or to start at data scientists. So this is a top-down approach, of course. Before learning the famous parts of data science, such as machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence, it is important that we first learn the basics of exploring data and understanding how data are collected. You need to go through all the steps and not skip anything in between. It is not advisable to jump to other stages without securing the underlying stages. You need to get a firm grasp of your data, how it was collected, and its infrastructure before training the machine learning model. The quality of data is very indicative of the performance of the trained models and the impact it can make to your establishment or as a way that you can solve the problem that you have. So for skills, it's important that a data scientist has a firm fundamental on math and statistics. Before learning just the codes or the syntax, of course, you can carry out machine learning models since you know the syntax. But it is more important to understand why your model is predicting that way, how the value is generated, other than just knowing the code. You can utilize your data much better if you understand the theory behind models that you try to deploy. So of course, domain knowledge is so that you can have an understanding of the problem so that the way that you use the data would be more precise and accurate. And of course, it's a way to validate your results. And in the terms of soft skills, of course, you need to be problem solver, and as a critical thinker. So, as a data scientist, this will always be your tool of trade, programming, and of course, database applications. So, there are different programming languages that you can use, but it's important to understand how to do the basics on it. And of course, data scientists has to be data storytellers. With the importance of interpreting data, we also need the ability to show that these data are not only numbers or charts, but as stories that individuals from a non-technical background or with zero programming background can comprehend and derive value from it. So with that definition, we now examine, is it promising to be a data scientist right now? Is it a good choice to make it a career? Analysts from Gartner says that there are no signs that they're going to be in less demand. And data scientists will be in demand in every industry, including those outside the technology sector from the World Economic Forum. And based on an analysis from LinkedIn, they summarized that there was a 190% global increase in skills related to data science and artificial intelligence from 2015 to 2017. And based on their emerging jobs report for 2020, they stated that in the US, data science ranked third, and they also noted that there was a 37% annual growth. And in the UK, it ranked at 7. So in the Southeast Asia, which includes the Philippines, the third emerging job is data analyst. And we take that now to the Philippine context. What does the profession of data science and analytics hold for aspirants in the Philippines. So, data science profession is growing. There will be an increase in the number of data scientists in the Philippines this year, from Praveen Kumar. So, the Analytics Association of the Philippines estimated from the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation data that by 2022, they would be in need of 340,880 data science and analytics professionals in the Philippines. And that is a 131% increase from the current data analyst workforce in the Philippines. So, as we can see, there is a big opportunity if you want to pursue data science as a career. Uh, an analyst has stated that there would be a big gap, there would be a continuous need for professions in this field. So, if you are interested in this field and you want to invest in learning this, I think based on analysis and reliable data from Asia Pacific Economic and other establishment, it would be a great time to jump in on this sector. So this is my data science journey. Of course, this is not a one size fits all. Our journeys would differ from one another, but by sharing this, I just want to encourage others who are curious about this or are wanting to see how they can approach the data science and analytics field. So I'm not from a programming heavy background. In 2019 I graduated as with a degree of BS Industrial Engineering from UPLB. And at the same year, I got employed as an engineering assistant A in National Irrigation Administration. So I got trained for QGIS. So I learned how to handle geospatial data. This was actually my first time seeing seeing data and using it in unusual ways. So for mapping, and this is what started my curiosity in handling other data types. So I think at this time, I okay, by April 2020, I was able to watch Sergio's Alpha TV about data science, and that was when they introduced the Alpha CBE program. And it was a new program back then. So, but I enrolled right away because I know the quality of education that they have. And by May, the program started. So it was still, I think it's still the same. So weekly lessons and then exercises for the application. So the whole training part ended by July. So at the time, I already learned Tableau and R. So I didn't have a background on R back then. So this is my actually first formal programming language. And then, of course, after the initial training, we were given the dataset for the CAPSTONE project. So at this time, we are already free to do with the knowledge that we have. So I took the initiative and learned other programming languages and other tools such as Python, PyTorch, MATLAB, and SQL. So by the end of the year, I did my capstone project defense, and I was now certified as a data analyst. So I'm kind of confident already with my skills. So then I went out to pursue doing data science projects and collaborations. I will show some after this slide. And then just recently, I got a job in the data science and analytics field, which is as a business process analyst at Calibrate Systems. And since data science, of course, includes a lot of learning and relearning a lot of things, I decided to pursue a formal education under it. So for my graduate's degree, I will be starting in UP Diliman this September, professional masters in data science analytics, and of course, the arrow is still moving forward. So in the future, more knowledge and more skills, hopefully. So next slide would be, so this is my capstone project in CDA. So this was the slides I used in my defense. So for this, I had the data set for a retail store. This was over 19,000 data points. So this wasn't only quantitative data. I had the time series data for over 500 retail items. And with the 500 retail items, of course, there were attributes and these were categorical data. So I'm showing the slide. These were identifying the factors that affects the sales. So what I use with this one is a random forest classifier because not only does it take into consideration quantitative value, which is needed for linear regression, this one takes into consideration categorical values. So a more accurate list of this one is in my original slide. So there were leading factors that negatively and positively affect the sales. So as the next part of the capstone project, it was to create a recommender system. So it was a yes or no. So what I used here was still what I learned from CDA. So I was coding using R. And this was actually my first time training supervised machine learning models. So for this one, as you can see, these are the listed predictors, and I use these algorithms. So these are four models. And of course, to identify which is the most suitable based on its prediction, I compared its accuracy. So the last part, I think, of my capstone project was forecasting, so time series prediction using the machine learning algorithm. So since these are 500 items, it would be difficult to do this per dress. That's why I used a machine learning algorithm here. So what happens here is that you load this CSV file with the time series data, and then it predicts the three succeeding periods, and then after the prediction, it is exported into another CSV file, which then can be used as basis for the next inventories. So I considered two predicting models to ensure that the prediction would take into consideration spikes in the time series, such as cyclic and seasonal patterns. And then this is an example of what the forecasting looks like. So this is the time series data, and this is what is graphed with the three additional periods. So that was my capstone project. So this next one, actually I can show you the whole user interface due to confidentiality reasons. But I just wanted to show I deployed a machine learning model with a team where we added a user interface. So this acts like a calculator, of course, but it has categorical data as the input. So the core of this user interface is an optimized random forest model. And I suggested to the team that we have a user interface so that people who do not know how to code or has not encountered machine learning models can use the model, can still predict the value. So I learned tkinter in order to export the trained model and put it into an executable app. So this is what it looks like partially. So I can show it predicting value. So this is my recent one with Undena. This is open source. So if anyone needs a map for renewable energy, you can easily access this one. So I belong to the task that clustered locations in the Philippines based on the solar irradiance dataset. So I use clustering models here. So that is the link if you want to link it. So this included open source data for the solar irradiance from global atlas. And then after computing for the photovoltaic power out, the locations were clustered based on the energy availability. So those are my projects so far. And of course, these are tips from me if you want to be a data scientist. So first, be passionate about learning. So as I said before, data science includes a lot of continuous learning new skills, and of course, honing new skills. You need to not get tired of learning. Every new data set, every new use case would entail relearning and finding new knowledge about it. Next would be always be critical and curious. Of course, I added critical because we have a lot of resources nowadays. But we need to examine first, is this relevant study? Am I confident in my sources? Of course. And lastly, take time to learn the fundamentals. There are a lot of resources where you can learn uh, immediately how to deploy machine learning models. But of course, always go back to the basics, learn the basics first before going to the intermediate parts. So that's the end of my talk. I hope it helps you in some way. And good luck in your data science and analytics journey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful sharing of experience, Miss Bruno. So, nakaka-enlighten talaga. No? So, now, the floor is open for your questions for our CBA candidates and especially for our YouTube viewers. No? So, hi there. Yan. So, if you have questions, kindly put in our chat box so that we can address Miss Blue.
Hi,
If
Sir
you have
Jojo.
questions,
Hi, Sir Jojo.
hi, Sir Lex.
And again, I would like to congratulate Drew, no, for all the things na shinare niya kanina. Parang wow, I never thought that our program is that impactful. And with your leadership, no, with your mentorship to these graduates, I think you've been doing a great job. And so good job. And to Drew, sobrang lupit nung ano mo nung journey mo pala, no. So I'm just curious, Drew, kasi well, you mentioned about creating a UI for a prediction model. Tama ba? Yung pagkakaintindi ko.
Yes po, sir.
Oo. Kasi we have like a predictor. Actually, isa ito sa project ng mga interns ng first batch ng from Athletes. And we were collecting demographics and all that could be used to predict most likely from personality tests, age, multiple intelligence, ano pa nga yun, MBTI profile, um, learning style. So yung mga yon as input variables, gusto sana namin magkameron ng UI na parang, sige, gusto kong matest if ano yung, di ba usually our problem sa IE, dahil malawak yung field, nahihirapan kang pumili. So what we did is we collected data coming from a survey and gusto sana namin magkameron ng madaling way para yung mga gustong magpa-predict nung most likely from those attributes and from those input variables, makikita niya. Kasi sasabihin dun sa model, we've tried some, we've run some, medyo tedious lang yung process. So we want sana yung parang ganun na pinakita mo. So siguro if you have time, baka pwede mo kaming tulungan on that, kung okay lang. Hello, Drew?
Sorry, sir, na-disconnect po ako. May something sa internet connection ko kanina.
Okay. So yun, I was mentioning na meron kami ding gusto sanang pagawan ng UI kaso hindi pa namin maupuan Sir Jojo. So siguro ito na yung opportunity na hinihintay namin, hinahanap namin. So baka we can set a meeting para magawa din natin yung or baka matulungan mo kami din sa UI ng pagpipredict ng ano yung posible na or ano yung parang most likely na trabaho ng isang IE tsaka kung saang field siya dapat given yung mga input variables na na-collecta namin. So, nag-try kami, ako nag-try sa akin ni Jojo using my input variable, sakto eh. Parang ang nakalagay doon, manager at an educational, parang ganun institution. So, yung tediousness lang ng, kasi nirara ni Jojo everything ulit eh. Tama ba, Jo? Uh, yung ano,
Opo, sir, kasi
buong
gagawa ng bagong
process.
testing dataset.
Oo.
So, bali, Miss Drew, the algorithm was created using classification models. So, it was already created with a training dataset. And then, nung tinest na namin siya, the accuracy was good. So, which is why gusto lang namin siya i-export sa app. However, we are trying some things, pero di lang talaga namin siya maupuan. Ayan. So, apropos ano ni Sir Dex,
So,
if you want to be with the team to do that user or app to predict which job
yeah,
fits for you based on your MBTI profile.
correct.
So if you would see, it's a unsupervised machine learning model. So, however, yun nga, parang to explore pa yung iba. Yeah.
Siguro, yes. Siguro, ano lang, just to conclude, siguro ang pwede natin gawin is makipag-collaborate tayo kay Drew para masama niya dun sa portfolio niya rin. 'Di ba? Yung magiging result, nung ano,
Ayun,
pwede niyang pang-share.
Yes,
very willing
sir.
na.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yan. So, congratulations again, Drew. And thank you for being our graduation speaker. Salamat!
Okay, so to award our certificate of appreciation to Miss Drew. So this is a certificate of appreciation for her participation as a guest speaker during the Certified Data Analyst Training Wave 4 graduation held on August 6, 2021. So, pagtago na pala yung title, so hindi ko napalitan. So, this is for you, Miss Drew, and we will send it to you via email. Maraming salamat po. And now, let's proceed with the uh, giving out of certificates. So, Miss Drew, if you have time, no, so you may sit with us um, or you may opt to leave the Zoom. It's okay. And so, uh, after this program, so what do you expect? No, after this graduation, we will be sending you in your email account your our programming certificate. So this is an example. So si Miss Drew na yung binigay kong example. So this is an example of your certificate that you can provide to your employer. Wherein of your proficiency for our programming for the basic level. So you will be receiving this kind of certificate also. Next is now let's confirm with your data analyst trained. Okay, so however this includes already your awards. No? So to begin with, let's first start with Miss Edna M. Gomera, CDA-E, a gold medalist for data visualization. So yan, palakpakan naman natin siya mga viewers and our no? Congratulations, Miss Edna. You may use the post namin ng CDA-E. So ibig sabihin train, magiging ano lang yan, CDA na lang yan after your capstone. Next on the list, we have Mr. Jamuel G. Ganit, CDA-T, gold medalist for data management. So congratulations. Next on the list is we have Mr. Dwight Dexter H. De Guzman, CDA-T, gold medalist for data management. And next for the list, we have Mr. Emmanuel June B. De La Viña, gold medalist for operational analytics. So ito yung nasa LMS na sinagutan. And for our wave valedictorian, so let's give a round of applause to Mr. Jesus Christian O. Palomo, CDA-T, a gold medalist for data statistics, gold medalist for certification exam, and your wave valedictorian. So, Sir JC, congratulations, no? So, pwede ka ba namin ma-invite for a very short speech Ayan, no? So, gawin kitang panelist, no? So, invite ka na, Sir JC pala, sorry. Ayan. So, invite ka namin maging panelist. So, for us to share your valedictory address. Ayan na si Sir JC. Sir JC, congrats. You're the wave valedictorian for Wave 4.
Um,
So, short valedictory address for our co-CDA.
Hello po. Good evening po. Sorry po kung hindi naka-camera. Hindi po ako prepared. Um, hindi ko po nakakala na ako po yung valedictorian. Thank you po sa award and dun sa experience. Thank you din po sa mga classmates ko na pag nagtatanong po ako, and they are gladly helping po. And thank you po din kay Sir Jojo for his patience po sa amin and sa pagtuturo po sa amin. Maganda po yung experience ko dito and madami din po akong natutunan and hoping po ako na magamit ko po siya in the future po in my career. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir JC, no? So, sabi nga ni Sir, yeah, for the patience. Actually, salamat din, no? Kasi at least ngayon, tapos sa ating training, ah, wala na tayong early morning na alas 8, no, grabe gising. So, naramdaman din yan nila Miss Drew, no? So, ngayon wala na tayong weekend morning wake up. No? So, ayun po, congratulations again. So, now to proceed with, no, ano bang i-expect natin after this one? So, after this one, syempre, you have your certificate for after you finish your capstone project. So, after this one, you have 3 to 4 months to finish your capstone. So, I will be in touch for your weekly submittals. Actually, meron pa rin weekly submittals. No? So, bibigyan ko kayo ng schedule doon sa capstone. So, i-check natin yun. However, hindi na siya via class. So, via email na lang siya, no? And at your own pace. So, di naman ako sa minamadali, pero alam yan ni Miss Drew, no, na nagpa-follow up din ako from time to time ng mga submittals nila. Ayan, no? So, ganun pa rin. No? We will be keeping in touch with your capstone as soon as you finish your certification. No? So, ang ating consultation dito. So, and then after this one, ayan, no, after your cognition, so you will receive regarding your CDA grade, the copy of your e-certificates, the link for your capstone data. Di ba nag-survey ako na magagamit? So, scheduled live classes for supplementary topics if ever man, no? And then, if you can have an open art discussion and capstone project and unlimited mentoring and coaching hours. So that's the perks of being in the CDA program. No? So, to share with you, no? So, we 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 surveyed a program actually is valued at 80,000 pesos outside. So it's a very big privilege to be with the Aslex PH Academy. So what else? So please, for our viewers, for our YouTube viewers, please like our Facebook page, Aztec Page Academy, and our YouTube account. Yeah, no? So aztecpage.com. So, ito na po ang ating copy of e-certificate. So, sa mga nag-abang until now. But before we end, no, i-off na lang din mamaya. So, ayan po. So, yun po, let's continue to become hashtag significantly better. But before we end, I would like to invite the CDA grad and let's have our photo op. If nandito pa si Miss Drew, the better. So, yan. So, accept lang po natin ang ating panelists.
Sir John, naiwan pa ata si Ma'am Edna.
Okay, ito po. Promote ko sa panelist. Ayan! O, diba? Ang ganda. Ayan. So, please open your cam. Minsan na tayo magkaroon ng ganitong seating arrangement. Dapat pala ganito pala tayo lagi, ano? So, alam niyo ba yung may update si Zoo, no? So, nakita nila yung importance ng creativity in our mga ganitong platform. So, I hope meron na silang next time na freeze screen.
Ay, sorry, Sir Jojo. Edmar, can you open your
So,
cam?
Edmar, dyan ka ba?
Okay, sir. Open ko na po yung ilaw.
Bakit si Ma'am Edna wala dun sa Parang
May
hindi ko siya makita dito sa...
Hindi ko po alam ba't wala po akong video. Okay lang po. Ayun.
O sige, ko na lang yung regular na lang. Ayan, ang gallery na lang ulit. Okay, game. Let's open our cam and let's have our final class picture. Ayan. So, Edward, can you take the photo of us?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
1, 2, ay may, teka lang po. May sila. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Isa po. 1, 2, 3. Okay na, sir.
Okay, that's all, everyone. Maraming salamat po for staying with the whole training. Good luck on your capstone. As Next Speech Academy is here to coach you and guide you. So stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Sir Lex. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Sir Edmar. And thank you, everyone. Ingat po kayong lahat. Maraming salamat. Have a good evening. Bye!